Anti-gay pastor Rick Warren, you may remember, was involved in President Obama's first inauguration. I didn't like that then. It turns out that now the latest anti-gay pastor who is going to be involved in this Obama inauguration has dropped out. This is, of course, the Reverend Louis Giglio, who called homosexuality a sin. He has now backed out of President Obama's inauguration ceremonies. Now, he shouldn't have been there in the first place. This supposedly happened because, my understanding, Louis, is there's the inauguration committee and there's the Obama administration. And the inauguration committee had booked this guy to do the prayer or whatever it is that he's going to do without checking with the Obama White House. But in either case, anybody could have Googled. Fine, it wasn't the White House's idea or fault, but the inauguration committee then should have just Googled and they would have found these statements. So he said, the message is, due to a message of mine that has surfaced from 15 to 20 years ago, it is likely that my participation in the prayer I would offer would be dwarfed by those seeking to make their agenda the focal point of the inauguration. Clearly, speaking on this issue has not been in the range of my priorities in the past 15 years. Instead, my aim has been to call people to ultimate significance as we make much of Jesus Christ. I like how he says their agenda, right? Only LGBT Americans seeking legal equality have an agenda, but people like Rick Warren and Mike Huckabee and Louis Giglio, whatever his name is, they don't have the agendas, right? They don't. The anti-gay point of view, that's not an agenda. Only wanting equality is the agenda. I like how he throws that in there.
Right. Well, when you're as delusional as these people, you truly believe that the Bible is the Word of God. You don't have an agenda. That's the Word of God.
Of course.
Right.
Of course, Louis. How would I ever question that? He also, just to throw this in, he's also been a proponent of ex-gay therapy at some point in his illustrious career. I would take this a step further, guys. Why is there a religious component at all in the inauguration? I don't understand it. Is it because the president can just say, well, it's my inauguration, so something from my religion should be a factor? So is it like a personal thing, or is it an establishment of religion of some kind, Natan?
It's hard to say. Now, there have been a few presidents for different reasons, usually because there was no Bible handy in the situation where they took the oath, where they actually took the oath using like the Constitution or some non-religious document.
Yeah.
I think it's totally preposterous and an establishment of religion to, at the same time, the inauguration may not be explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, in which case it's sort of like a non-official thing.
Yeah.
But to the extent that it is, I think that it is an establishment.
What do you think about that, Louis? Right? I mean, in other words, the inauguration procedures, as far as I know, do not require any religious component. And that being said, is an inauguration just open and whoever is being inaugurated can say, I'd like X, Y, Z as part of my ceremony, and it is not an establishment of religion, it's just part of my ceremony. What do you think? And even going beyond that, whether it's an establishment or not, should we have religious components when inaugurating someone to a position that presumably is totally separate from any religious institution?
No. And I don't want to say it should be banned. I mean, I don't know if that's the term. If Obama wants to go to church every Sunday, by all means, let him. But when he's being inaugurated as President of the United States, it should not be, there should be no religious documents involved.
There you go.
I have an idea.
Go ahead, yeah.
How about, remember how John Roberts flubbed the last one?
Yeah.
When, well, maybe, how about have Obama swear to the Second Amendment during the inauguration? Everyone will be happy, the insurrections will be quelled, and, get the second administration off to a good start.
Yeah, forget about doing the hand on the Constitution. Just a super large, like Westboro Baptist Church has those oversized signs where like the text is huge. Just have him put his hand on an oversized novelty size sign of the Second Amendment. And then I think that would quell a lot of conservatives' anger, don't you think?
Let's just have him swear on his birth certificate.
It would be fake, of course.
Oh, well, can't fix that then.
No, certainly not.